Welcome to the dark world. Today we're taking you to a place Japan wishes you'd never discover. An isolated island, destroyed by time and something else. Abandoned buildings, buried stories, and whispers, still echoing through the ruins. Hashima, the ghost island, a past that refuses to die, a city that vanished, but where the souls still wander. Watch until. From afar, it resembles a forgotten warship on the horizon. But what lies beneath is far more disturbing. A dead city left to rot in the middle of the sea. Hashima isn't just a decaying island. It's the skeleton of a past Japan strives to bury. Once, over 5,000 souls lived here, stacked between concrete walls, amid the relentless sounds of machines, screams, and an ever-thickening silence. At its peak, it was the most densely populated place on Earth. Today, only hollow shells of buildings remain. Forgotten objects, photographs yellowed by time. Everything appears to have been abandoned in haste, as if something compelled everyone to flee. There were schools where children's voices once echoed, hospitals, shops, cinemas. Now all lie in silence, an entire city frozen in time. But what truly happened here? What led the Japanese government to seal off this island, keeping it isolated for 35 years? Hashima sits just 15 kilometers from Nagasaki. Its shape mirrors that of a battleship, hence its nickname, Battleship Island, surrounded by hundreds of uninhabited isles, none compared to it. While others are cloaked in vegetation, Hashima is a barren rock, tearing through the sea. This very rock once bolstered Japan's economy with its coal mines. For over a century, approximately 165 million tons were extracted, often at the cost of human lives. It all began in the 19th century. In neighboring Takashima, residents discovered oil seeping from the ground. Unaware of its significance, they used it merely to heat their homes, until a man named Goida recognized its value. This discovery drew global attention to the region. By 1850, Nagasaki had become a strategic port, facilitating transport between America and Asia, a hub where Western ships refueled with coal and iron. Soon, Takashima's iron reserves depleted. Attention then shifted to Hashima, an isolated island rich in coal, but manual extraction couldn't meet the soaring demand. Mitsubishi, then merely a transport company, purchased Hashima and initiated a brutal exploitation. Housing was erected for workers, and a seawall was constructed to withstand violent waves. By 1916, over 3,000 people resided on the island, with production nearing 150,000 tons annually. Space was scarce. To cram so many into such limited terrain, Mitsubishi built Japan's first concrete buildings, true confinement blocks. Over time, schools, leisure centers, and small markets emerged. Yet everything was cramped, suffocating, unbearably claustrophobic. In 1959, Hashima reached its zenith, 5,200 inhabitants squeezed into 15.5 hectares. To put that in perspective, that's nearly 4 times the population density of modern-day China. Workers shared minuscule rooms, some sleeping in makeshift caves. The mine, located 1 kilometer beneath the surface, was a hellish environment. Temperatures of 35 degrees Celsius and 95% humidity. People fainted down there. People died. During World War II, Korean and Chinese prisoners were forced to toil there, under conditions so inhumane that Japan still faces international criticism. Many who entered that mine never returned. Even after the war, as the empire fell and Japan sought to cleanse its global image, Hashima remained operational. Mitsubishi began installing cinemas, gyms, schools, and entertainment centers to project a facade of normalcy. Potable water was transported from the mainland, and later underwater pipelines connected the island to the coast. But it wasn't a city, it was a floating prison. In the 1960s, the island still produced and profited, but the world was changing. Coal began to be phased out. Petroleum-powered machines dominated the market. Consequently, Hashima began to wither. Isolated, exposed to tsunamis and violent storms, its operations became increasingly costly and hazardous. The seawall encircling the island protected only the structures, not what lay within. In 1974, Hashima was officially abandoned. The gates closed, the screams ceased, the smiles faded. Time stood still. To this day, no one knows exactly how many bodies remain buried beneath that cracked concrete. Japan prohibited tourists from setting foot there for 35 years, perhaps to preserve or perhaps to conceal.